me tomorrow?
Oh, you betcha, baby.
Carol King. And Jeff Truscott just told me, and Jeff's coming up after the midday news, sports and weather, but he just told me Carol King's birthday today. How old would she be?
I have no idea.
I'd say probably
Late
early...
60s?
Oh, I think a bit older.
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
70, early 70s.
Yeah.
But I'll check that out while you're chatting. Right now, we're with Madonna Guy, if you've just tuned in, from New Leaf Natural Therapies. And I've got to drop in there today, one, get a cholesterol check. And folks, it's done so quickly, just a matter of minutes, and so accurate, because I've done one with Madonna, then my GP wanted one done, and by the way, they were very good results, but they matched up perfectly.
They really did.
One takes days to get the result back. Yours is a matter of minutes.
Yeah, well, it's just a little blood test, nice and easy.
And I've got to get those tablets, zinc, and the other one which
Saw palmetto?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to be like an 18-year-old kid again. I'll be bouncing around the place. Yes, New Leaf Natural Therapies, if you want to drop in and see the great team there, they're at what number?
94 Edith Street, Wynnum. Yeah.
And you can phone them
on 3348 6098.
Let's get back to the gut
and
the issues that people do have and what it can lead to.
Yeah, so we've been chatting today about the gut. It can be linked to cancer long term because the immunity's in the gut, and supporting your body to prepare for not getting cancer is about keeping your body healthy. So the healthier the gut is, the more likelihood we can kill cancer cells. I did hear a research paper, and this was like 15 years ago, where it's estimated that every person on the planet makes between 1,000 and 2,000 cancer cells a day, but then it comes down to our immune systems, whether or not we fight them off or not.
Shut them down.
Yeah, so, and basically they're almost like a little reaction that happens to life, to the environment, to toxins, to stress, and then and basically it comes down to whether or not our body will actually be able to recover or not.
Well, how's this for a combination? We mentioned earlier shift work, and you toss in stress.
Yes.
Plus due shift work, lack of quality sleep. That's a real time bomb.
Yeah, and then the foods we eat on shift work. So how many people do shift work and they're just at the the candy bar, the snack bar, that sort of thing all night?
That was my habit.
And
I'd go without a meal.
Right. And they often do the whole too many coffees, too much sugar, too much chocolate, that sort of thing. But so if they're not keeping up the water, if they're not keeping up, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, do you want to be having a big bowl of
No.
leafy green salad? But that's what we should be doing, treating it.
It should be a nice big glass of red wine.
That'll help you through your night shift.
That'll get me up, going to the toilet every couple of minutes.
Yeah, and that research we were looking at last week, where they're saying that just about Australians are all alcoholics these days, because what is it, if you're having more than one glass a day, then that. So I don't know where that research comes from, but I really think it's in combination. I think it's in combination with everything.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, so if and I think one of the things in that research was saying, well, do you really need it? So are you getting to the end of a big day? In other words, you've had a stressful day, and then you choose to have a big glass of red. Like, the stress won't have helped. The red isn't going to help on top. And therefore, it takes a couple of hours after you drink alcohol for it to be metabolized through your system. So all alcohol turns into sugar. So once again, it's one of the things that drives cancer. It drives leaky gut.
Sugar.
It drives, the inhibition of the immune system.
Sugar?
You can get low carbohydrate beer. So I think there's one called Big Head. So it's only got about 80 calories. And it says it's no carbohydrate, but I don't know how you make a beer with 80 calories and no carbohydrates.
I read an article again in the paper. I love reading my papers. I'll never buy a Kindle. But it mentioned, and I dare say a lot of people heard this or saw it, that having a beer a day is very good for you.
Well, that's the thing. I think because we are also hyper-stressed these days, I personally think that whatever we do to calm down that stress is probably going to outweigh the negative benefits if it's done in moderation. So if we have a glass of red with dinner or a glass of beer, I think that's going to be one of those things that's going to calm us down, help us, get through the next.
Yeah. Well, that's why a lot of people back in, let's go back to World War I, World War II, they were given cigarettes. And of course, smoking would calm their nerves.
Yeah, interesting, huh? I even had a weird story about 20 years ago when I first started naturopathically, and she came to see me, and she had all sorts of health issues, but her mother had had miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage. And at the time, the woman would have been about 40 or 50, and we're talking 20 years ago. So, 40 years before that, the doctor prescribed her to smoke 15 to 20 cigarettes a day.
Oh,
It
well
worked.
relaxed.
That
Yeah,
it
yeah.
worked.
Well,
That
it's all
is the
about
pregnancy
relaxing,
that
isn't it?
yeah. So imagine how heightened her nervous system would have been. That's the amount of cigarettes you need to smoke to calm you down, so that you can keep a pregnancy. Like
Well,
these days,
you
it's
know,
just
IVF
nuts
is
to
the
think
first
about
thing
it.
I reach for,
Yeah, right. Yes, it is.
and I don't know because that can be evil.
Yeah, and I think our levels of smoking in Australia have gone down over the
Oh,
last 10
definitely,
years, but
definitely.
still 13% of cancers in Australia are linked in with smoking. So,
Smoking.
you know, there's so many things that people can try. You know, things like hypnotherapy can be beneficial for it, things like acupuncture,
it's very
things
sad
like.
when you go and visit someone in hospital and you see these poor souls with their drips on little mobile stands and in their pyjamas and dressing gowns standing outside
Yeah,
in a smoking area puffing away. Now the poor doctors do their best to
They do.
restore health, and it's a terrible disease. I'm not blaming the person smoking. It's
Oh,
a terrible
absolutely
addiction that
addiction,
they can't
yes.
beat.
And my dad, God love him, he died at 44 years old. But I remember once he was in hospital, I've got no idea what for, and his mates from the RSL were sneaking alcohol and ciggies in. So the doctors would come in, he'd be standing at the window smoking and having a
Why can't he have a
having a
little
little
bit of
scotch.
pleasure? Why not? Hey, we'll come back in a moment and wrap everything up. I was going to say, we've got Jeff Truscott coming in after the 12 o'clock news, sports and weather, and great music. And in a moment, Master Blaster from guess what year?
No
Stevie
idea.
Wonder.
Oh,
1980.
yeah, I was going to say 82.
You,
okay,
you're in
80.
your teens.
Yeah.
So you remember this.